Welcome to the Soul Happy Success series. It's your host and your coach, Rebecca. Welcome back, welcome home. Today we're talking about getting your first clients and how much cold contacting absolutely sucks. But before we get into it, please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps so much. Hit the bell icon to get notifications every time we release these videos so that you don't miss out. And let's hit it. So first of all, cold contacting absolutely sucks. I feel like it's almost like knows a full sentence. Like, let's just end it there. But the thing is that we can't, because it absolutely works for some people. It really does. And I'm not taking away from it. I'm not here to judge anyone's business. I don't think that's our business to judge other people's businesses. However, cold contacting, I was about to say cold cactus. That doesn't make any sense. Cold contacting works on a numbers game. So it works really well for people in their masculine energy or men, because it literally is, if I hit my numbers, I'll hit my targets. And there are elements of my business that are absolutely like that. It really, really serves you to know your numbers. Really serves you to know. That's actually one of the most important things, is to know your numbers. But when it comes to contacting in the first place, if you want to go down the cold contacting route versus the warm contacting route, you're going to see significant difference in your numbers, because warm contacts are people that you've warmed up. You know them, they know you, you've maybe met them before, they've been a part of your life at some point. Cold contacting is someone that you've just like plucked out of Instagram that you have no idea who they are. So let's start a little warmer, because cold contacting is consuming as fuck. Like, it's time consuming, it's the hustle, it's the grind. And I appreciate Gary Vee speaks to this so much, and I love, all hail Gary Vee, right? He's amazing. But essentially, you're going to everyone in the world who may want to buy your product and asking them to buy your product. And yes, that will work. But I want to start a little bit warmer, because when you're just starting out in the entrepreneur space, it's very fucking confusing, and you're maybe not 100% sure what you want to do. And then you're just randomly picking people off the internet to ask if they like want to buy your product, or if you maybe can help them. That's just not the dream. So how can you help us? First of all, there's so much more in this than just like, here's your first client. You have to know who you're helping. You have to know why you're helping them and what result that they're going to get from working with you. You can only do that if you have got that result. This is straight from my soul, and with so much love in my heart that I say this. If you are trying to teach someone to do something that you cannot do, you're joking, right? Like that's not, it's not funny. Like, it's and this is not a judgment, or maybe it is, but it's not to target anyone. It's like coaches that you go to that say that you can manifest your soulmate in the love of your life, but they're single. Unless they mean that you find the soulmate inside yourself, then all praise to them. But that's like going to someone who absolutely lives for McDonald's 6 times a week and doesn't hit the gym. Excuse me, how do you get abs? You just wouldn't go to that person. And it's not that you're judging that person, it's that you want a different result than what they're living. So you have to have been through this process first yourself. So if it's a change in someone's life, you have to have been through it yourself. If it is if it's for coaches, I know that so many coaches are overcoming trauma and things like that. If you've been through it, you can absolutely coach someone through it. Because I noticed this, I used to work for an organization for careers guidance, and we worked very closely with the job center. And such a gift. The job center are not as bad as everyone makes out. I'm just putting that out there. But one of my friends then started to work at the job center, and every one of his clients that came to me just had a significantly different attitude. And I did wonder for why. And then it really clicked one day. We were talking about his journey, and he had been through the system. He had had to claim for benefits before. So when people came to him, there was this point of resonance where they were like, you understand me, you've been here. Whereas none of the other people that worked there had been through that system before. There's a difference when you can truly empathize with someone. And that would be how you would help people. So how can you then go on to help people? So once you've got that thing, and if you want clarity around that, that's a whole other video. But once you have the thing that you're helping people with, and you know the result that you're getting them, then you start free. You start free. And unpopular opinion, right? But you start with people that you know, or people that know people you know. Like, you start with immediate circle, like get your foot in the door, because you need to get some experience, you need to try it out. I had a client that so passionate, like beautifully passionate about um the environment and fast fashion being a real problem, and how she wanted to really tackle it. And I swear, like, the light in her eyes, I was like, you could change the world with this. And she tried a couple of different ideas, and then we stuck on one, and she was like, right, I'm going to try this. And I was like, okay, cool. We went all in, and she tried it. She got a free client in it and hated it. She was like, nah, this isn't for me. So you go back to the drawing board, bro. Like, it's not confusing. But what if she had created this whole business? Then the thing is that if you've never done it, you can't teach it. And if you've never experienced what it's like to go through the process, that's like, with the most love in my heart, it says, it's like coaches that just do a video program and they've never had a one-to-one call with anyone. Like, they don't know the process, they just think that that's what people need to hear, and maybe they're right. But you have to know the journey. Like, the journey is so different for everyone, and you have to know what comes next, what is the right thing that you need to hear at this point in the journey, because you don't know how someone else is going to react. So you need to try these things first, right? So when it comes to getting your foot in the door and getting in the game, like, you have to try it first so that you can see the pattern. Our brains are wired for patterns, so that you can then go on to make an offer that someone cannot refuse. It's, you have to learn from the experience, you have to practice, and then you can add the value that people will actually see. So my first program was completely free. My first program completely free. I had a number of people I was going to coach for free for X amount of weeks, and then I was going to decide if it was right for me. I did this in my coaching business. I did this in yoga, and I realized my body can't do, 18 classes a weekend. So I had to change it. You have to try it first so you know if it's right for you. So I appreciate that everyone's in business to make money. Everyone wants to make a living. Like, I want to feed myself and pay my bills too, bro. Like, everyone's here to make money, but we want to make money by doing something that we love and by helping people. You don't want to build this business. So, like I was saying, with my client that was looking at, it was like wardrobe reorganization, and it was a really great idea. If anyone's thinking of an idea like that, hit me up. I got you some information. Drop a comment. But if she had built this whole business and then she decided she didn't want to do it, the amount of failure that you feel, the amount of judgment that you feel for yourself and from others, you feel really silly. You just don't feel good. And that's not abnormal to feel that way. If you've said, I'm doing this, and then you do something different, then we have that moment where we're like, oh my gosh, like, everyone knows I'm doing this thing. Everyone knew I was doing yoga when I was teaching yoga. Everyone knows me as the yoga girl. Everyone knows I'm teaching yoga. And now I'm like, I'm not teaching yoga anymore, but I'm coaching. And people were like, oh, like, that's different. Didn't expect that. But they didn't care. The only person that really cared was me. Like, that's so wild. We put so much emphasis on what other people think when we decide to transition in business. Most people don't even realize it. Some people still ask me. I literally had a message the other day. I was checking in with some people, and she was like, hey, do you know anything about pregnancy yoga? And I was like, bro, that is not my sphere anymore. It's not been for like 2-3 years. But I mean, I could still point her in the direction of resources, which I did, because just be a good human. But you don't have to have it all worked out and have the flashy website and all the lead magnets and the sales pages set up and the Stripe account ready to go. And you don't have to have all of these things to start. You actually just have to do the thing, check if you like it, then go on to the next step. Stop planning 10 steps ahead when you're just looking for your first client. It's like, oh, I'm looking for my first client, but I'm planning my retreat for next year. And you're like, bro, simmer down. Okay, let's come back to the point at hand. You need one client before the rest of it starts. So let's focus in on that one and give them such a good service. Do your absolute best for that person, and then you can decide if you like it or not. But if you're here to help and you're here to serve, which I believe that everyone that would watch my channel would be, if you're here to make a difference, then make the difference. Help the people instead of helping behind the scenes because you're too scared to actually just reach out to someone and say, hey, I'm doing this thing. You want to do it with me? It's really that simple. I believe that was along the lines of my first message. It was like, hey, I'm not going to say their name because autonomy, but let's call them Shelley. Hey, Shelley, I'm doing life coaching now. Would love to know if you would want a coach for 8 weeks and we could be in this together. I'd give you a weekly 1 hour call and we could just chat about life. And how does that sound? Like, it was very like, I had no idea what I was fucking doing. Like, now I'm very like on it, but at the beginning I had no idea. Like, people just appreciate that you think about them. No one has ever said to me, oh my God, do you think I need a coach? How dare you? No one has ever. No one has ever, because you're just trying to be a good person. That's it. You're just trying to help people. Like, no one can smack you down for trying to help people. And if they do, bro, that wasn't your first client. All right. So simple. So, to get your first client, yes, you can cold contact, get a little bit better at the messaging than I just gave you there. But yes, you can cold contact. Know that that's a numbers game. The more people that you contact, the more likely it is that someone responds. Or you can really put yourself, and it'll feel like in the firing line, because no one wants to be like, oh, I'm doing this thing, judgment, oh, the scary things all come in, all the fear. You can put yourself in the firing line, send a couple of messages to some people that are closer to you that you believe that you can help, and offer to help them for free. Choose a certain number of people that you're going to work with for free. Choose a certain either amount of calls that you're going to give them or amount of product that you're going to give them, whatever it is that you do, so that you can get those testimonials. And then at that point, you have confidence, conviction, and complete clarity in what you're doing, so that then when it comes to the sales process, you're on it. And it's like bam, 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 sale, 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 because sales is beautiful. Just in case anyone's like, sales are sleazy, I hate sales. Like, I'm sorry. Sales is how the world works. So it's sell or be sold, bro. So you can absolutely sell what you know and believe in. And sometimes just believing in it for yourself is not enough. And I don't believe that we should seek external validation. But when it comes to this is your service and product that you offer, you should be listening to your clients and what they're telling you. So if you did, for example, if you're in the coaching space, if you did a 6-week block of one-to-one coaching, 1 hour a week, then after that 6 weeks, someone comes back to you and says, my life didn't change at all. Okay, then we either know that person's very closed off to what we were doing, or we need to work on us a little bit more before we go into the realm of coaching. It's like, it's very simple. Then you'll know where the work needs to happen. Because if they get extremely amazing results, then you know that your process works and you can go on to sell that with complete conviction. Like, I absolutely have 100% conviction that women that come to me that absolutely hate dating will love dating. Trust, this is one of the top testimonials I get, is like, Rebecca inspired me to date again. I know that people that were terrified of COVID will be able to go out and hang out with their friends in a social setting, because that's a testimonial that I got. I know that women will be, I literally got a message the other day, made £1,000, well, it was $1,000, so that's like £750 this week. I was about to say month, it was this week in business, and I was like, winning. I have a message from a client that got our first 10K client, 10K for one client. I was like, well, the process works. So I have complete conviction. And this is not just through what I think, right? Sometimes we don't love ourselves, and sometimes that's the hardest person to convince. But if I trust in me, and then I can see all these other people trust in me, then I can trust in what I'm selling, and then I can sell it. So you get your first clients that are probably for free. And if you're stuck in that boat of, Rebecca, I have had these free clients, I have the testimonials, but I'm really not sure what to do next, because now I have to start charging money for it. And that's scary, because that is scary. You're asking people for fucking money. Like, it's one of the scariest things to do. So if that's the boat that you're stuck in, then you were obviously meant to find this video, because I literally am the get your first client coach. That's who I strive to be. That's who I want to be. This woman that is leading other women into this space, because we want it to be based on, we need general knowledge at the beginning. Like if you seek specialist knowledge in the beginning, it'll be like, this is how you build a course. So many people think this is the answer. Build it and they will come. But if you've not gone through the process, you can't help anyone. So you don't need specialist knowledge at this point. You need general knowledge. You need to know how to start out in business. You need to know about sales. You need to know about how to grow your confidence, how to pick yourself up after a shit day. Like these are the things that we need. And I know there are a lot of women out there that are over delivering and they are not getting paid their worth for it. If that is you, I know that you're out there, right? And I don't want you to be one of them, which is why I make this channel. So in the meantime, I hope this has been helpful. I'll be over here believing in you, and I will see you in the next video.